Mr. Hajim. I think we better start now. So thank you all for joining the meeting. Okay, so I think today we have few participants only. Okay, I think Sumiko and also Dr. Azrin. So both from Penang campus also. So good morning all. Yeah, good morning. So I think it's few participants, I think it's okay. Maybe later on we can open for more the Q&A session. Yeah, because I think we also can share some information. And I think first of all, I need to say sorry because for the first proposed date, I can't make it because at the time I'm not feeling so well. Okay, so maybe some of the participants, I think they may affected for the date. Okay, so thank you for joining. Well, I will share the slide first. I think it's we all free to discuss and sharing. Okay. Okay, so y'all can see my slide now. So I think maybe later I will off the webcam. Is it okay? Because I worry the line is not so clear. Okay. So actually, I think Dr. Azrin and Sumiko, you all even have quite a lot of the writing experience also. So for me, this is the first time for me to conduct the journal paper writing workshop. So this is my first time. Okay, but I'm quite happy to share it with all the participants, and it's good for me because most of the time previously I'm just writing. So we through this workshop we can try to discuss and we may get more better idea for the paper publication. Even for me myself, I also try to join some of the publication, some of the seminar for the publication, because I saw some of the speaker, even they have very high impact. They have very high impact number. Their number even more than 40. Some of them, they are from chemistry engineering, chemical engineering. So their paper, they have a lot of paper. So it's also learning process for me. Okay, so you feel free to talk to me. Okay, anything we can discuss it. Okay. So always we will talk about the research, the result. So most of the time, people will ask about the research. You have a lot of the publication, the experiment result, and for some of the business school or some of the social science, you may have a lot of the survey result and some of the interview sections and so on. So the data, we have it, we keep it. But if we didn't publish it, so the result, it won't exist. So it's always keep on our laptop or our computer on it. So we need to do publication. So this is the we always encourage the student and also the staff, we do publication. If we never publish, the result never share to people. Okay, but in terms of publication, that is not so easy. Why? Because most of the time we need to go through the reviewer. Okay, most of the time I think they may have 2 to 3 reviewer for first paper, the journal you submit to, depend on the journal. Okay, then some of it may be you have 2 or 3. Most of the time they send to the reviewer, they give them 1 week times, the reviewer to accept the whether they want to accept the review or not. If they accept, if all of them, 3 of them, maybe the editor will send to 3 of them at the same time. If we are lucky, 3 of them accept it fast. Then normally they give her about 2 to 3 weeks for debut submission. So if they are lucky, we are lucky, then they submit earlier, then we can get the review, the result. But sometimes if we have 2 reviewer, okay, 1 reviewer give good comment, 1 reviewer give not good, They may give you minor, some of you give you minor correction, then another one give you major correction, or they give you the comment for rejection. So the editor sometimes they may go for third reviewer and other of it. So that is not so easy. We need to go through it. But for me, I always encourage my student also that we need to go through it. Even review we get rejected, it's very quite painful. But we learn from it. We improve our paper. So if our paper will be accepted one day. But the reason, the main thing is we must improve the paper, the manuscript. Then try to submit to other journal also. So it's not easy. So for first publication, most of the time, the postgraduate or for us, we will feel very happy. Especially we go for the high tier one paper or high tier or high ranking journal in our field. So we feel very happy and we get accepted. Sometimes even we get the major correction, major revision also, if we still have chance, if we improve it, sometimes the review comment are not so tough. If we go through it, we improve it, we got the chance to get accepted. Okay, so for me now, for the writing the journal, I will go through this few of the steps. Okay, but I think most of y'all know, because you are the lecturer also, so I think you also have experience. So maybe I will go through more on discussion. So you're free to join me for any question. So at least we discuss it. Because this step, most of it I prepared. May have some postgraduate students want to join, so I just share it. But it's okay. Because from here we can through sharing we get some ideas also. Okay, so first now, I want to ask the participant here. Maybe first now you all can describe your research, the field, the topic, and we share. For me, I'm sharing. So we're sharing to how to get improve our paper. So first now we need to know the reason why we want to do publication. Why? So maybe we can give 5 reasons. So first one is the most important for the number link from very important to number 5 not so important. So you try. Is it possible you can use the palette wall you scan? Are you able to log in or not? So maybe you can try. Oh, link, yeah, can, sure. Wait a moment, I give you the link. Okay. So wait a moment. Link. Yeah, the link is also even better. For me also, that's why I prepare the link. Okay, so Sumiko, you try whether you can log in or not. Okay, thank you. I think one more participant joined already. I think Dr. Ng. So first now we do some activity. So I need to know more about your research field. So for me, just a brief introduction for y'all. I'm Dr. Hao from the Department of Engineering, so Penang campus. So my research field is more on the renewable energy. So I'm doing the research on the biofuel, biodiesel. Okay, so that is my study in UM. So we run the engine. For me, I'm more on the experiment work. So can say it's fully experiment. So we produce the biofuel from different type of the plant oil, from edible oil and non-edible. Edible oil means the oil we can use to eat. Okay, we can eat. Non-edible oil cannot eat. For example, palm oil is the edible oil. Non-edible oil we have few of it. For example, jatropha and other of the few. So we use it to produce the biodiesel. So then later on, we put the oil into the engine, diesel engine. So we run the engine, then we get the engine performance, emission, and combustion characteristic. But for me now, through my PhD study, even we are mechanical engineering, but we also go through some chemical process to produce the oil. So that's very important because we need to produce some not new oil, but it's an oil for us to run the engine. So we need a lot. Previously we buy from some supplier, but not reliable. The oil some is not pure and very, very expensive. So we need to learn. So from there, we also can join the other journal, not only mechanical, we also join some of the chemical engineering journal also. So it's multidisciplinary, but not so much, but it's still a good way for us to try. Okay. So for some of y'all may be social science, maybe for me, not so familiar for the journal that you are using, but it's okay. Because I think the way now, the journal now, how we search now is the same way, it's the same method. Okay, I saw Sumiko had writing it already. Okay, yeah. Okay, then you can share here. I share. So what Sumiko shares is very true. Is why we need to. Okay, Sumiko is from tourism and technologies. Okay, then sharing personal sharing, then KPI, then contribute to the field. Yes, one of it is our KPI, right? Yeah, we need to have it. But for me, I think the research is more on our own profile. It's good for us. So we just do whatever we have it. Even we have our time is not so much. Okay, maybe we have some of us that have the teaching work. Maybe a bit more for the big semester for January and September semester. But we try. We still trying, and it's better now. We have some postgraduate student also. So from there now we can get publication more. Okay. So I think Dr. Azrin also have our GS grant. Okay, so okay, for some of the participants just join, so I share the link again. So your please to try this activity one. Okay, I give you the link in the chat box. So try to do it so at least we know more. Okay, the link I give in the chat box so you can get the link. Okay, so we let them to try first. So far I only get Sumiko reply. Okay, Dr. Azrin, yeah, thank you. Okay, Dr. Azrin also from tourism and environment management. Yeah, self-interest. Okay, personal development and KPI. Okay, later on I share again. Yeah, for me is we doing research because our interest. So that's why we choose academic field for doing teaching and for research study. Okay, I wait for one more. Then later we do some activity also. I share now from the Dr. Ajrin and also Shumiko. So this is their sharing now. Okay. So yeah. So most of y'all sharing it because for sharing purpose, we do the publication, why we need it, and for our self-interest, personal development, our KPI. Yeah. So we cannot run from KPI. So most of the time we still request us for KPI publication. Okay. So for the view now, if we go for the postgraduate student, this is a must. For example, master student, they may need one paper publication, at least one. They can accept it from review paper or their experiment work or their research work. But it's better if they're related to their research work. Then PhD student normally they need two. Okay, depend on the university. If for University Malaysia, UM normally they want tier 1 paper or they may need tier 2. Or some of them at least the scope of paper is enough for them. So that's depend. Then we must have the paper. Why? Because we need to know that our work is get people recommends, and we want to also go through the Viva. So for the postgraduate student, we need it. Then it may not so say you have strong publication, your Viva will be very smooth. You will get Viva smooth. I mean you can confirm your postgraduate degree. No, but it's one way people can know that actually you got publication, then your work should be much better than people that they don't have it. And it's also one of the requirements we need it. Okay. Then for us for the lecturer, so why we need publication? One first is our job, the requirement, our KPI. And also we need it because we want to improve our career path. Also for some of them, if we have for example, we have our GS or other grant, or even internal grant, KDU internal grant, we need it because this is a requirement for the grant. So we have a grant, we can fulfill the grant requirement. Then later on, we can try to apply for other grant also for next grant, because your first grant, you successful achieve your target. So next now we go for another. Also, people will recognize us. They can through the Google Scholar search, they can know more about our research study. Also help us to improve the university ranking, Setara and other of it. So knowledge contribution. So this is the reason for the publication. So for me now, and I think most of the participants here, I think most of times for us is our interest. We want to do the sharing. So that is the positive way for us to do the publication. If not all the time now is under for people pushing us, then it's quite tough lah. That's not so enjoy, and we may get less. More important is we interest. Okay, so now I share back the slide. Okay, so another one we go through. Okay, so sometimes our paper will get rejected. Not say sometimes, I think can be say not most of the time, but if we have chance with DPT, the paper will get rejected. Even not get rejected now, we may also need to go through the division process. Okay, so based on your opinion, normally why the paper will get rejected? Why will get rejected? So most of the time, so sometimes we get paper may get rejected because first the editor go to the editor first they not say the paper for this field they already have a lot. They even not go through the review process. Or some of them maybe go for developer find that our journal is not so new, quite similar with other people, then they can give us some rejection. Most of the time, it's maybe the quality of the paper. So we don't like this type of the email. They say that our paper is interesting, but at the end they are not considered for publication. So that's one is we don't want to have it. Okay, but it's okay. We go through it. Even reject, by the time we try, and then at the end we can get it. Okay, so this is another paper. We always like to get this type of the email. Okay, our paper is having accepted for publication. So this is one of my Elsevier journal, but this is a last time journal. Recently also have it, but that's through the corresponding author submission. Okay, so most of the time we can get all of it. All of us will get the acceptance email, also rejection email. Okay, we feel very happy. We get the paper accepted. But get the paper accepted now, as I said before, we need to go through the path, go to a few paths, and we need to keep improving. Okay, even this paper I also submit before to other journal. Then they get rejected, so we try improve it. We try to improve it and submit to other journal. So for me now, and I always try to ask students, if possible, we try for high-ranking journal first, the high tier first, unpaired journal first. Then we see their feedback. Okay, because this paper, if we can get published in the field now, then actually it's quite recognized. It's very good paper. So that way we can get a lot of improvement. And the paper also citation will be higher also. Okay. So the reason rejected most of the time, that is very important. We must find the journal. First, now we need to search the journal. The journal must be fit to the scope of the journal. If we submit to the inappropriate journal, sure the editor now will reject it. Okay, and novelty is also very important. They always may say your paper work have been published before. A lot of the journal for this certain for this type of the work, similar work have been published in their journal. Okay, and then for example, problem statement also sometimes is weak. Literature review may not so critical, not enough, or is outdated. Also, this is related to the methodology, the approach we are doing for the paper writing. So for your methodology, so not so convinced, or if may not so detailed. Result not in depth discussion. So for only reporting. So and others of it, plagiarism and poor written grammar. So grammar is very important. So sometimes even because we are not English is not our main, so maybe our grammar not so good. For certain of the postgrad student for new lah. So but at least we try. We can send for the proofreading also, or maybe we can send to the supervisor or some of the colleague. Then they can help us to try to improve. So this is another way for us to improve the paper. So for the paper now, if we get rejected, so what can we do first? If we think our paper is good, okay, then some of the reviewer comment, the rejection comment maybe is not we still can we can improve it, okay, or we can still have some where to do in revision, then it should get the acceptance. So we can do for the appeal the rejection. So this is our right to do the appeal the rejection. So we can write to the editor to see their concern about it. Okay, but sometimes they won't accept. Maybe sometimes they won't accept. But you can try for appeal the rejection first. If not, now we choose another journal. So this always for us now, for my student also, or even for now me also have paper rejected, but we try other journal. But sometimes rejected a few times, we also feel very give up. We feel give up, very sad. Okay, but it's okay. We take a time. Then that on we try to submit to other journal. So never give up. Okay, the great things now take time, but we be patient. So we try to improve our journal, see the comment of the reviewer, then we try to submit to other journal. But try to submit to the for me, maybe we try for another high tier journal also first. Then that one we will try for another maybe tier 2. But sometimes tier 2 also not so easy. It may also tough. Okay. So now I will try to sharing with you all regarding some of the publication. So how we do some make sure our work sufficient for publication or not. We need to know the paper. Is this the paper? They got any similar paper, or what's the recent paper the people are doing for this field? So we need to look for it, especially for the literature review. We need to get the paper is the letters maybe less list the last 5 years, not too long, not too old paper. So we try to do some of the search, okay, to find more paper, more research work that is done in our field. So we can try it. Okay, so this is example here. So I try to share it around here. This is example for me because my field is biodiesel combustion. So I try to key that keyword. Then I choose the last 5 years. Okay, that one I will do the demo, so no worry. Then I can get a lot of paper. Okay, a lot of paper here. So about 1,000 plus. Then there is a paper. Then also here, this is a Web of Science. That one I share with you all the website. So we can get the paper. They can see the citation, how much the citation also. Then if you want to get the high side paper, you can click it here. So you can get the 63 here. Then they will put this is a very high paper citation, 122.6. Okay, and other of it. So you can check for the journal. Okay, applied thermal engineering, and some of it they have the journal renewable energy, also good journal energy. Few. This is the journal also high impact factor. So about 8 plus. For engineering here, the 8 more than 4 something is quite high journal impact factor. Okay. So another one, we search for others. So finance, bond, and other. Then I also get it here. So this is a few paper, a lot. Okay. So now I sharing first. Okay. Sumiko and Dr. Azrin and others, are you using Web of Science or you are using Elsevier for your journal searching? Can I get some feedback from you? Normally, which website that publisher that you are using? Okay. Then first. Okay, one moment. Okay, so now you can see my screen or not? So are you able to see the screen? Okay, so for the screen here now, we can type the keyword. So for example, yeah, tribology, where this one I type now. Okay, so this is example. Or just now I type biodiesel. You also can using, for me, I using Science they also can. But this one Web of Science actually they have they can get the citation, the numbering also. Okay, so it's one quite good website for us to find it. Okay, biodiesel, then I type combustion. Okay, so I do the advanced search. So you can get all the paper publication for year 1970 until 2022. Okay, but for me, actually less than 5 years we still okay can accept. Yeah. Yes, it's a lot. All using open knowledge. Okay, yeah. Thank you for sharing also. So next time, because this one actually is some of the website need to be subscribed. Okay, and for our librarian, we also need to check with the librarian whether it happy or not. So yeah, Dr. Sumiko also share another one. Okay, so later that I can have a look. Okay, so now I share here. So last 5 years. Okay, I type here last 5 years. Okay, biodiesel combustion I type here. So I search here. So they give me a lot, 1 to 4, 9, 6, 4, about 500 G paper. So this is few of the paper. Okay, so then that time I do some of the high side paper. So I do filtering. So then we can get it. Okay, so this is the paper. So we can get here the citation about how much. So they will nano down the paper. So this is more high cited and also last 5 years. So we can do comparison. Okay. So for me, I think most of you also have the using the reference the management software, right? So some of you are using the Mandarin or some of you are using EndNote. So actually we must have it for me, especially postgraduate student. If you don't have it, actually it's very tough. One reference you change, then that time you need to spend a lot of time. So this is the way normally we need to have the using the reference management software. But even we export the file for the site that we still need to check because sometimes they got error. We need to do the correction a bit. We can change it. Then only we do exportation. After exportation, we can edit it. If not, then we rather use it. Actually, got some error also. The journal or later on your thesis submission, they also got get comment. Okay, so few of it. So another example. So typology, where, and this one others of it. If I not know, I choose a lot now from year 1970, then a lot. They even go for 1,000 plus, more than that. So too much already. Or you want to choose open access also can. Or you can from here, only you choose the which year you want. And then here also can be. Or you can choose exclude. Okay, you can choose even more than 5 years. Okay, so you choose either one, or you can choose from here. Or from the personal that searching, you can define it. Okay, so we can narrow down. Okay, then you can choose the paper that is related to your work. So you can try to open and you get the paper. You read through what is the current research trend, what are the people doing now already. So we must have something new for the paper. Then only they will accept. Most of the time, if our paper is too similar, they are not interested. So first now they will say not go through even review process. But if you go for open access page, then that is another where it can be get accepted also faster. Okay, but it's paid. Normally we try to deduce it. We try to go for unpaid first. Okay. Then we try the other one. So let's try to another. Okay. Let's try tourism. Okay, I'm not sure they have a lot. Maybe this type of the journal are under website, maybe less. Okay, let me try. Environmental management. Because this is science, but your maybe for your few Emerald and others, they have more the paper. Okay, so here just now the Dr. Azrin one, Sumiko, your few, this one also about. This one is not. Check again. This one less lah. They still not. They're more on the. Oh, here. Okay. So this one is from the environmental management. Okay, so this few of it. Green hospitality management and others. So then you all can do the filtering. Okay, 102. So they have some of the paper site also and reference. Even you can get the paper reference itself, if some of the PDF file also. Okay, then you do the site. Then you look from here. What is the current research trend? Okay, so this is where for us to do some searching. Okay, so now I continue. So this is few example here. So then for this actually, for this now also very important, especially when we want to do literature review. Literature review, you find the last 5 years and the high tier one, not high tier, high cited. Normally you have a look how the people do it. So for review paper. Okay, so if you all have any questions so far, any question? Okay, then I go for next. Okay, so first now for the we want to check whether our work now is sufficient for publication or not. So first now we need to study through the sample journal paper published in the journal where you wish to send to. For example, if I want to send to Field, then I will try to find other paper from Field. I will try to find the latest journal, okay, the published journal. Then later on, I will go to see whether my work is sufficient depth or not, or have some novelty or not. For me, for you want to say fully, you want to say novelty, quite a lot of new novelty, maybe not so much, okay, but at least we have some novelty. So then we can justify in the introduction there or some of the literature review in introduction part. Then we do a little bit description, say mention about what's our novelty for the paper, or what's our objective that the other paper not yet done. So that is a way for the reviewer, they or the editor, they go through first, and then they can consider. Okay, so answer the following question is we need to know what is the problem you are trying to solve and what's the problem important and how does it help and what is the limitation of the existing work or knowledge and what's new in your work. So from there now, literature review study now we know more, especially for postgraduate student also, we need to have it. We need to find the research gate. What is the gate that we need to determine first and also our problem statement. Okay. So then next now I need you all to do a very short activity. Then you all try it. So now I give you all the link also. So you give me one of your paper, title of paper, your current paper, then can give a little bit what's the problem you are trying to solve and what's the important problem and they have any limitation or existing work or not. Okay, you can propose few of the title that you are recent published or you are writing now. Okay, so you wait a moment, I give you the link. Okay, so you feel free to do it now, try it. Can you all get or not? Can you get the login for this palette wall for activity 2? So you can give example for the title of your current paper and others of it. Okay, and then the problem that you're trying to solve. Okay, thank you, Sumiko. Actually, it's not not so easy. We want to get 4 hours free time for the seminar. Okay, and most of the time maybe Friday or sometimes we have it to have the 4 hours training. If not, sometimes we may have class. But now it's week 10 so we still have one last week, and next week will be study week before final exam. So I think most of the lecturers also quite busy now. Okay. Okay, so you'll try to do it now. I give you about 5 minutes plus. You'll try to do it. Okay. That time I will give a short break. You have any question can ask. Again, don't feel shy. Just ask. Okay. For me also learning process, learning curve. Or if you want to have more title of paper, you can put more also can. Right? It's okay. So Sumiko, I think now the research is on tourism, right? For your PhD study. So but I believe yours should be have quite a numbering paper also trying for submission also. So it's good for us. We are interested in research, then we keep doing keep improving. Okay, so you'll try first. I give you about 5 minutes. You'll try it. yeah, you can write the title of paper. Even you can write more if you have more paper. So just to have a look here. Okay. That time I share just now the link for the Sumiko. Just now Sumiko share us the open knowledge maps. Quite good. Actually, even I also can find some of the thesis also. Open access, but they must be open access lah. Okay, there is a requirement must be open access. But because some of the journal may not go for open access, then we cannot get it. But we can ask from the librarian that see whether we can get the account for the UOLB Australia or others or not. Okay, or they can help to find. Or sometimes I also get help from my colleague or my friends from Public U. Okay, thank you, Sumiko. You write a lot in detail. Okay, thanks a lot. Okay, so now we have a look. Okay, we wait for a while. Okay. I think maybe some of them are writing. If not, then I can share just now the link from Sumiko. That one is very good. Last time for me, I'm studying in UM also KM, so we can access the journal. Okay, here we also can have it. So that's why we rather use Signare or Elsevier. Actually, quite a lot. But now actually even my students also they can find other way to get it. They find other website. But as long as for me, I tell them you use the paper, use a good quality paper for your research study or your FYP study. That is more important. Or for the postgraduate also. Okay, so just now I type here. For me, because you all may for like science and other. For me, because I'm more on science, so I choose this one, biodiesel conversion. You also can define your search and other of it. Okay. So then you go for Go. Just now I think I found one thesis. This one. But this must be open access, right? It must be open access paper or thesis, only we can get it. So there's a full thesis, also quite good. Okay, because sometimes you may not able to search this one from the Google search, and then you can choose here. Or it can Google search can get it, but maybe here now you can get more paper and deleted. Okay, so this is one of it. Biofuel 2016, 2019, and others. Okay, quite good. So it's also good. Okay, thank you, Sumiko, for sharing. This one, I'll have a look here. Here is another one. This is the open access, open access publication. But if your sign are in other, then we cannot get it because they are the paid journal. But we can get from library our website. Some they have subscribed, then we can get it. Okay. Then I have a look for the just now the sharing from Sumiko for activity 2. Okay. So okay, from here. So Sumiko give one example, the title, the perceived benefit and risk of the NFT adoption among the early adopter in Malaysia. So problem is the finance money, some publication need to pay and collaborate, look for some researchers who interest to collaborate. So important to solve this cost is quite a burden to publish a few paper if need to pay. Yeah, okay. Limitation, expert from the field. Okay, and time consuming, yes. So technology is out of my field, new in the work, so we need to explore. Yeah. Okay, so this is the research field from Shumiko. So it's when regarding the risk of the NFT adoption. Yeah, because some of you all you've been doing for PhD, then you need to get doing for some new the field and research also. So in Malaysia we may have less, and some of it even for the expert in overseas also mean overall also less. But we try to find some similar. Okay. Cost got costly. Okay, and I try to go back here, then we have a look. Okay, so next for journal, so I will use back the just now one, the typology, the where, and we kind of have a look. Okay, so this is the view of it, the paper. So normally how we select a journal? So we need to know the easier way for me, I always tell my postgraduate student and FYP student, you do literature review first. You try to get one very good review paper. Okay, good review paper normally is from the Elsevier, SciDirect, and others of it. Try to find it. Then from there, you can look from their reference or even the review paper itself. Normally the reference. Normally review paper may have about 20 or more than that, 50 plus also the reference. You can have a look what is the most paper in that field. So we can try from there, find the source. So you see which one is more relevant paper that you are published. So, and also we need to know the quality and the depth of the work for the journal. And okay, look for the website and the scope. And you try to avoid non-specialist journal because non-specialist journal is too general. And also the journal not in your field. You may try to relate it to your own field first. If later you found actually your paper also can go for other journal, then we only try it later on. But try your familiar field first. Also avoid maybe if you have some research funding from the lecturer, you can try maybe one open access journal, paid journal, maybe one you want to try, you want to get fast. Okay, because sometimes the students they get one paper published then they will feel very they are convinced, they are very convinced a bit. Okay, then at least they not so down, not feel so down for the paper for the publication. So at least they fulfill the requirement. So then you can try. But for me, I always ask them, you try for the tier 1 or high tier first, not necessarily tier 1, high tier, tier 1, tier 2, and try for the non-paid journal. Because you can get published in the journal, then you will get your work is recognized. Not so, I mean, not 100% you will pass a thesis, but you will get better. Okay, then select the ISI paper. And also beware for the blacklisted journal. Okay, so they have some list of the blacklisted journal also. You can find for internet also, they have some blacklisted journal. So try to avoid it. Because you submit to the blacklisted journal, later on your university not recognize it, and later on our work will be gone, the paper. So it's very risky. Okay, so this is example for my field, doing for the tribology, they got where, and also they got field. This is a paper just now I shared for the acceptance email. So field. So this is a high impact journal also, and non-specialist is general. So you may have the open access science and technology, International Journal of Engineering Science. But we try to go for specialist. Okay, and if time for specialists also better, the quality of the journal and also the citation even will be get higher also. Even not necessarily your open access journal, you will get more citation. Not okay. So that we try for specialist first. For example, Shumiko, anything want to sharing? But I will always ask the student to check. You check the the paper, normally how long they can get published. Normally how long they get accepted and other of it. But you're not looking from here only, here. That they say 2.6 weeks and other of it actually not. They even take more than that. Review time maybe 7 weeks, that okay. But publication time is mean they get after acceptance of it. But the review process, how long you get published, you can look from the journal itself. Sometimes they take too long, then we try to find the faster one. Okay, we try to find the faster one. This is the field, example field. So this is the high impact factor, 8.035. Their site score also 11.2. So for you submit them, maybe you can get higher citation. Okay, where this one is for tribology. So this one is very specialist in the tribology where. So, okay, impact factor is a bit less, 4.695, but it's still high in engineering field. So as here they share the acceptance rate of 26%. This journal not so easy to get published, but it's quite good journal, high quality journal also. Okay, for example, this is the open access journal. So open access normally we need to pay, we need to get paid. And also our open access journal, we need to be careful because some, not saying all a lot, but few maybe it's a bad listed journal because it can get very easy to get published. Sometimes there's 1 week, your paper can be accepted. And so try to not to that kind of journal. Okay, because people may doubt so fast and know the division less, even the paper quality not so good, but minor correction only, minor division, and it can get published so fast. But some pay journal, open access journal, they are high quality journal also. Their review comment also a lot. Okay, so this is a few, this is an example for my paper, so I can share with you all. So this one during my end of my PhD study. So here, so that's why I have two affiliation. One is UM, another one is KDU. But last time is KDU Penang. Okay, now is you go for ULW Malaysia. So for me, I submitted is about year 2017 October. Then get published is about April. Okay, so about 6 months. Okay, go through the review process and other of it. So 6 months because this is the high ranking tier 1 journal. So it takes times lah, but it can get published actually is very good. So we feel happy also because this paper, the last time we submit, most of the time get rejected. Okay, then we try to submit to other journal. That's good lah. For me, for us now, we go through tough way first. Then that one we get published now, we get the experience. We know how to do it now. Then that one our publication not so say if 100% you can get publication easily, but at least we know we gain the experience. Okay. So I think maybe do you want to have a break or not? Okay, maybe I give you all 5-minute break time. So that one we join back. Okay. So we have a break, short break, so that one we join back. Okay, so 10:20. Okay, 10:20 a.m. now we join back. Okay, so I think you're joining back now. Then I wait for 1 or 2 minutes, so there are wait others for joining back. So that time we continue the workshop here for the journal paper writing. Okay, so I think sorry. So okay, so we continue back. So after we choose the journal, okay, we decide which journal we plan to submission. We know which journal is related to our field. Then we try to submit it. So now we need to do planning for the writing. So first, most of the time you may need to complete your 1 or 2 objective for your research study. Not waiting for all the research work done, only you start writing. No. For first, most of the time we will ask the student, postgraduate student, master or PhD student, we try to ask them to do the literature review first. Okay, normally we give them about 3 months. Fully doing literature review. Don't need to do anything first. Just do literature review. No, then from there, you know what is your research the problem statement, what is your research gap. Then after that, they only start to planning for your research experiment. Because for us, if we are doing, for example, for biodiesel study, then we need to buy the oil, need to buy the chemical solvent and others of it. And we may need to do some engine modification or some of the research work. So that is very important. We need to determine our research gap, research work first. Then after that, doing literature review, 3 months, normally we give 3 to 4 months. Because the review paper, it take times. We may request them about 50 paper, 50 reference, about 50 something. Let them to do it. Okay, then they don't try to submit. The review paper for one of the sustainable renewable energy for our field, that one take times, maybe take about 6 months something also for the publish. Not even, but review process may still have it. But if one you can get published in the journal, your citation normally is very high. That is a way for people, they have very high citation, they can improve the citation. But for us, for me, because we are more on trying for experimental. Literature review paper, we have it, but we also, both also we try. Okay, so first, postgraduate student, we ask them to do literature review, do review paper first. So they submit 1 paper. Okay, then the one they have 3 or 4 something, maybe 3, 4 objective. Then we ask them to do the research work. For some of them, they do maybe for other field, the social science, you all need to do for interview, or you need to do the survey, right? Then you have some data, enough data, then you do for you start writing. You have the data, or you have experiment data, you start writing. So you prepare the manuscript, then you submit it to manuscript, and you can assign, you can try, sometimes you can propose reviewer. Okay, you need to propose the reviewer is our good friends, or not say it must be, they will help us, they 100% they will help us to get published, because we need to be professional. Okay, but try to propose. Okay, or maybe your supervisor, they have some of the collaborator also, we can try to propose. But if their name in your paper, you cannot propose them. Okay, so we try to propose them for few of them that is related to the expert in the field. Sometimes few, I think it's not much. 1 or 2 times it may get the reviewer is from the person that we propose. but not much, but it still have it. So again, it got chance. Okay, but they won't become the person mean your paper can be get published. Sometimes they even you reject your paper. Right? Okay, so that is aware. So after that, we assign and review now, then we get the decision. So if rejection, we try to do some preparation again. We improve. Okay, we improve it. Then if better, they give you division. Minor division have it, but I think sometimes they may go for major division. Major division for my student, I will tell them no, not to worry. Even the review comment is a 2 or 3 reviewer, some comment is still okay, not so tough. Unless they ask you to run more experimental work, that is where we concerned. If they have time, it's okay. Or some of the equipment we don't have it. So there is a big concern for the student also. But we try to improve it, then we resubmit, then go through review process. It's a good way we want acceptance. We want the paper get published. If not, they will go for rejection. Then we submit to another journal. So this is a way. So most of the time, I ask them to try review. For my postgraduate student, I try to ask them to submit literature review paper. Then second one, I try to advise them to submit their research or experimental work, research work, the paper related, because that is very important. Okay, not at the end you only submit. Then later you get a lot of feedback, say your methodology is wrong or your methodology is not enough. Then the time you want to submit thesis, you're also not confident. Okay, so there's a general structure for the full article. So all the way we will ask the student, you try first the title extract. This is the easier way for you to have it. You try this first. Okay, some people they will try methodology or they will try others, but we will always ask them, you try the extract. Okay, or try to find it. Extract by that one we will go through how to write the good extract also. Then title, try to find a relevant and good title for your paper. Keyword I think is easier. It's linked, you can get it from your title or your research the paper. So there's few of it. Then that one, the main text. The main text here is main path introduction. So we got IMRAD. Okay, so you need to have go through introduction. So method, result, okay, and discussion. So you try to make the article as brief as possible. So I mean not a brief, too brief, but it means it's enough. It's delivered. Then we try to do it first because it's a first round. We try to get to do it. Okay. So here recommends for students always ask them to start title, abstract. Then some of them they start methodology. It's okay. Then you also can try for interaction. And from there, you need to have some list of reference. We always encourage a bit the student, if you want to submit to that few specific journal, for example, you want to submit to energy journal, you try to cite few of their journal. Okay, because that one they may ask you to cite also. We try to cite because there is relevant. If not relevant, I tell them you don't cite. Okay, just to cite few of it. Main methodology, result discussion, conclusion, and acknowledgement. So acknowledgement, this part is also very important. So especially for the student, your supervisor or the lecturer, you have your own grant. That's very important because we not have acknowledgement, then later our paper not count for the KPI or for the target. So cannot. So acknowledgement is very important. So acknowledgement, you can acknowledge few university and your grant. Grant maybe normally you cannot acknowledge too much grant. Maybe 1 or 2 that is relevant to your project. Okay. So how we define the good manuscript? So we can try to have a look this type of the criteria. First, now we're looking for here. Does the article fit the aims and scope of the journal? It's very important. You need to know the scope. So for example, just now I go through there the field. So fuel now is the research into the energy source, so they remain a key issue. So they are more on the research field, primary research, and other topic, environmental aspect and pollution also. Okay, then where is more on the advanced or basic and applied knowledge of the natural way of the material. So you can have a look in detail. Okay, then the solution and the particle engineering problem. So most of the time I will try to type our keyword, our title. Okay, our title. See whether it's in the field or not. Okay, then you need to try to have some of the research novel and does this add into the existing body of knowledge. So for me now, we try to, because we try to send to field journal, then sometimes the reviewer may comment, your paper is not no or less novelty. So for us now, we saw few paper. So I share here. For introduction part, we have do some literature review. Okay, not so long. Then we try to write it. Then we compound this person on this researcher, they do what. Then another researcher do what. Okay, but then the time we will say for this research field, this work, less people do it. Less people do it. So for our this objective, the paper, we do this of the particle work. So we write clearly in the introduction part. We will tell them that actually our paper is something new. So at least they can consider for our paper go through the review process. Okay, because they for example, they said the paper for some paper, some people researchers they run engine also, but engine also same things, engine a lot of that. Then some of them they may have do some modification on the engine, so they improve the engine the combustion or others the pollutant and then have new fuel. So we try to emphasize here in our introduction, but we cite other paper review researcher. We compare what is the difference between their work and our work. But this one normally when we get the review comment, okay, when we get a review comment, we want to try to convince the reviewer. So we need to prove, not only say, no, our paper is new, so you should consider it, but we try to prove to them. Okay, so another one is, are the right conclusion drawn from the data presented? So normally people looking are very important partner. Normally they're looking for abstract first, right? For us, because the paper is too long, we don't have much time. So we're looking for the conclusion, abstract and conclusion. Then we'll determine whether we want to read this paper or not. We want to cite the paper or go through it. So the abstract and conclusion is very important. And also it's internal national relevant or unique for your research. And also very important is the paper grammar writing. Okay, so we can send to proofread, but proofreading sometimes quite expensive. We can send to our university, the English, the language school, to help, or some of the colleagues also for help for the improving the English. Okay, so for me now, for us, sorry. So for us now, we always try to tell the student that when we do some paper submission, the manuscript, we must follow the journal, their format, because different journal, they have different format. Okay, but most of the time, Elsevier, their format is almost the same, but only their reference may be different. And then we need to use the correct reference or style that they are required. Then we do it. Some of them they do numbering or they're doing for the APA or Harvard referencing. So we must follow it. Okay. And then we submit it in the proper way. Make sure it's clear and everything get required from the journal. Okay. Then we always tell the student, no any secret for publication. The simplest rule is we need to keep our work harder and have some strong dedication. So sometimes paper rejected, whatever, how down, then it's okay. We take maybe few days, then later on we improve it. No, not say just ignore it. Okay, previously we have few paper also because starting our PhD study, so the work not so much. The paper get rejected. We also feel very sad. Okay, because last time we studied in UM, so they required the tier 1 journal for because they have a high impact research grant. So then we only try for tier 2 lah. Our supervisor also advised. But sometimes we keep it. Okay, but after that, maybe you go for few research work already, you have more data. Then you try to improve it. Because you have finished all your paper, you have your introduction, you have your methodology and your result, and almost full your manuscript, even they get rejected last time. You improve it, it will be get faster. Okay, so from then we keep it, keep improving. Also, as we know now, the editor, the reviewer also busy. So try to make it systematic and in good way, so people can easily understand what is your work. Okay, and that's why I mentioned sometimes I will do some summaries or comparison. What is the difference between our paper and other paper? So that's why the editor or the reviewer, they can easily to have a look the novelty part. Okay, so for manuscript normally the good manuscript the reviewer or the editor, then they can know your scientific work significantly easily. So not so easy, but we just to prepare and work hard on it. So our paper will be get published. Okay. So now I go through for some of the how to choose a good title. Okay, so what is your opinion? Do you have any opinion on how to write a good title? Normally, how you write your title? Is it the title similar to your thesis title? Catchy, yeah. Okay, we want to make something different, right? Yes. So we try to make it quite, sometimes people say bombastic also. But we try to make it simple and related to our work. But review paper is okay. Review paper, maybe you need to write more on the work, okay, and then title. So we try to focus and reflect the novelty of the work. But what we say before, that it must fit to the scope of the journal. If the title is the engineering title, you submit to the some science journal, they may not accept because their science is go for physics, and then they won't accept your paper. Even that time you will go through review process, then that time you get rejected, then you waste a lot of time. It better then you reject you during the editor process, first of the editor part. Okay, but first find the scope. Then later on you need to choose the relevant title. Try to find some possible field work that describe your content. We can try that time. We can have a look. You can make it from your abstract. For your abstract, or that we must have a concise, specific, and informative. Very important, informative. We try to get this paper. What's different between it? For example, for us now, maybe we have to write the example here. We have biodiesel. Then we may put methyl ester or other keyword, or we put some of the scientific name of the field. We try, because sometimes you get rejected. Then we feel you must submit the paper. Then we try to change the word. Or may see some people the paper, the word, the title is very catchy, very nice, but it might be delivered. Also, then we can try it. Okay, and you may have some keyword from your title, and make it to go for the capture the fundamental nature of the experimental and the finding. So the title is very important. So first now, what we can do now, we can prepare some keyword. Then for the title, you can join it, or you can have a look, or you can look from your conclusion abstract. But no put the abbreviation in short form and other of it, or some jargon word and formula. Okay, especially chemical formula. If not, actually people, because you put the so specific your title, the chemical formula, not all the people they know about it. Because if you put in general the terms, then maybe for example, you have biofuel, then biofuel they have a lot of biofuel. But other people still can dig through your paper, then they can cite your paper. If you put too specific word chemical formula, then that is normally people reviewer, they won't accept it. Seldom we see it unless it's a very novel paper. Then only we put chemical formula. So then after that we do submission and check the grammar. Okay, here y'all can have a look here. You try to have a look here, and this is the one of the title. Okay, from a journal. We can get the title from the abstract itself. So now you have a look. Okay, I give you about 5 minutes. You have a look. Then how we get it. So this is about they study about the process, grand defining process and mechanism of tungsten powder. So they're using this type of the metal powder. So for the ball milling. So this is some of the manufacturing process, and they go through it. Then later they go through some of the methodology, okay, to investigate the result. So that's what this is the abstract. Okay, y'all have a look here. Okay, so you look from here. Actually, the title they are quite easy to get it from their abstract because related. So they are very concise now. They are related to their abstract. So they are from here now. They from the first first sentence now they get it here. So the title now is the defining process and mechanism of the tungsten powder by this is the keyword here. Some a little bit catchy or bombastic word here. High energy ball milling. If you put by ball milling, not so attract people. Then he put by energy ball milling. Okay, so it's defined process and mechanism. So it involve two of it. So for the paper, but regarding some of the methodology, they're using SCM equipment, and other of it they're using TEM. Then how long they're doing for the research. Okay, here this is a methodology, and this is methodology. Okay, so this is one of paper. You can have a look here. So from this paper, so define process and mechanism of tungsten powder by high energy ball milling. This is one of the paper. So the abstract also I copy from the journal. So that is how he define it. Okay. So from the title here. Okay. Now later on, okay, maybe later I try to share a bit for the JCR. Okay. Or for some of the things, you all can have a look here. Abstract. Okay. So I thought we have a very short activity. We try to see how you all can try to write from your paper to share some of the abstract for your work also. So as I mentioned before also, the abstract is very important because most of the reader or even the editor or reviewer, they go through the abstract first. They want to look for your paper. Okay, how you conduct your experiment, how you do your research work, and what is your finding. Okay, that's very important. What is your finding? People want to know. So only from there, they will whether decide when to go through it or not. Okay, so abstract, then it's very important. You need to tell the prospective reader what your important finding. So it must be accurate. Again, we try to make it interesting or make it understandable, understood. Okay, and clear is what influence whether your work have further considered or not. Okay, and keep it as a brief, not too long. Okay, because they have some of the word limitation for the abstract. Okay, so abstract they have a brief summary. You also follow this type of the element. IMRAD just now we have looked before. So abstracts normally you try to have it introduction. First you might have a brief introduction. What is your objective? What is your scope? Then the time you go for method, describe the method. What kind of method you are doing, your methodology. But it's a brief, right? Then result, summary the result, and then the time you go for discussion and conclusion a bit. So then you can have a look here. This is abstract. Okay. So I try to see whether got any journal. Wait a moment, I try see got any journal. What's their requirement? But wherever how sometimes we go for the journal, we try to find that we can get the full paper, okay, especially for your field. Okay, so I share one thing here, one of the paper here, so we can have a look for the journal. Wait a moment, I share the screen. Okay, so this is one of it. Okay, so this is one of the paper, Elsevier paper journal. So I try to search first. Okay, so if you are interested to publish the journal, then you can go to the journal here. Then you can have a look here. You look for the paper first. Sometimes they may have some special issue. If you are getting invited special issue, actually is encouraged because you may have some chance to get published. But sometimes the special issue they will invite you. Maybe some of the they are go for some expertise or they have a lot of people currently in this research study. So they only will encourage, they only will invite you for special issue. But now some of the journal, ePay journal, they also have some invitation. So we need to have a look. So there are some of the okay, you can look from there what the requirement also are requirement. So they have submission checklist. So you need to have a look here, what you need to do. So that time I will share one of my example paper and how we go through the process also. Okay, then you go for, okay, the ethic and declaration also very important. And then we do for some of the paper. Then have some of the format for table, reference, this all fit, color. Okay, so this one you have a look. But actually more of the paper, if you're under the same publisher, Elsevier, that it should be the same. Okay, so this is the abstract here. Okay, abstract. So what you are required. Sometimes some they will give you how many word, the limitation of the word that you should write it, not more than that. Okay. So first here, what we have a look here. Title, okay, they have the title, the author's the affiliation, and this is the standard, you have it. Corresponding author, and what is the permanent of the address, that is this one for our university. And highlight, most of the time the paper they need you to have highlight. Highlight you cannot write too much here. They have the 85 characters, including the spacings also. So then you need to count it. So highlight. Okay, normally we don't write in some of the point form for the highlight. So you can have a look here. Then they give you example also. Even sometimes our paper submission may not go for the high tier paper, but we can look from the example, how the people they do it. That's why we can improve our paper. Okay, then abstract, then they have write what you need to have it. Some if your paper got some experimental work or you have some good image graphic for your research work, then you can put the graphical abstract. That is very good also, it can attract people. Okay, so you can have a look here. Some people they have it, then you can put it. This is example for graphical abstract. Or you have some of the process for your research work, how you do it. So it's a summary of it, quite good. So people can easily understand. Then keyword, okay, enrichment and other of it, formatting. So there is a formatting that you need to use it. Okay. So this one you can go through. Table and reference. Okay, so now I go back to the slide. Y'all have any questions so far? You have any question? Okay. So if not, then I will go through. Then later we try for one more activity, but I will give you a bit longer time for the activity for the abstract. So we have a look first, for example, for the abstract and other of it. Okay. So abstract normally no figure, no table, unless you are a graphical abstract, that is different. Okay, but abstract for word, that is a must. Okay, and no reference. So we always tell the student no reference. Even your copy page from part of your result, okay, or from your conclusion, but no references. You need to use it. Okay, avoid abbreviation, equation, and symbol, and make the sentence short but is clear for all your research work. And normally they have some word limit. Maybe not most sometimes it's about 250 words, but you need to check for the journal. Different journal, they may have a different word limitation, but it won't be too much, about 250 plus minus. So written usually normally in one paragraph, and you using past tense. Okay, that's very important. We're using past tense to refer to the word. So normally we don't, the student always they will try copy paste from the conclusion. Then the conclusion, this is part of my abstract, then the conclusion they copy from that. So not time we don't write a copy paste of it from your conclusion. You may try to refresh it, or you should try to get some other finding of it, or maybe your overall summary for your paper. Okay, then focus on what's new, essential idea, and essential numbers. Okay, so here you have a look here, example of the abstract. Y'all can have a look. Okay. Okay, so what we have shared before, we need to have IMRAD. Okay, introduction, method, methodology, result, and the discussion. Okay, so for example, the abstract here, this color, the light blue color, Okay, there is one for the introduction. So from here, this example, the extension of the sum spot number series backward in time is of the consideration important of the dynamo theory. So later they will go for the method. But actually, we try to not using V and others, so you'll try to avoid it. So this is they just to share with you, okay? But try not using V. Okay, we have okay, maybe this study apply. Okay, we can using this study apply a physical mode to record the about the concentration in polar ice to deconstruct some spot number between the year at 50 and the present. Okay, then they give some result. So the reconstruction show that the period of the high solar activity during the last 60 years is unique throughout the past 1,150 years. So this is a result. Then the discussion, this nearly triple the interval of the time for which such a statement could be made. So there are 4 of the statement IMRAB here. So even in short, but we have include summaries all of the your research work, research paper. Okay, so now you have a look here. How to write a good abstract. So normally this is example for the paper. You all can go through first. See whether it's a good abstract or not. Then later we compare another next one. This one is approved, okay, the writing here. Okay, this is approved. All the here is the result. Okay, now this is the result. So they give you, you have a look, what is this in the color one, orange color, and what's this? So you can have a look here. Then what missing? Okay, so you have a look here. They have objective. So this paper investigate the mechanism of the edge keeping at elevated temperature in laser assisted milling. Okay, so they put the short form here of the silicon nitride ceramic. So then here he mentioned that this is objective lah. This is the objective of the paper. They investigate the mechanism of this study. Then experiment results show that this about what is their finding for their research work. So they write a lot of the experiment result. You can look from here. They show the given temperature can significantly reduce the wood pitch edge clipping. Okay, then temperature is above anything of it. Then what's their result? Okay, and when temperature is above the brittle or ductile transition, then what is their consequence? So the result part is a lot. Here a lot of result. Quite a lot from this extract here. He write a lot of the result. Then the last part it shows that the temperature range between 1,003 and 1,400 degrees C has a more significant effect to reduce edge clipping of the LAM mill, okay, of the silicon nitride ceramic. So this is conclusion. Okay, he have objective, have result, conclusion, but they don't have the problem statement and approve. It means the method. He don't have method. Okay. So this one we try to avoid. We still need to write the method brief, but the result is too much already here. There's something like copy from the methodology, so it's too long. So for us now, you need to try to deduce to the result, but you need to put some of the method. Okay, and the result also you need to summarize which one the result is more significant, or more important. Only we put in. If not too long here, also not so any good finding for your research work, not so Nobel and other of it. Okay, then you can have a look here. This is another one. You can try to have a look. Okay. Okay, so I give you 5 minutes. You go through this extract to see how is the difference between the first one and second one. So that time we have one activity for writing for your extract. So we need to put into the IMRAD just now. You need to have introduction, method, result, and the conclusion and methodology. So you can look first. Okay, so now we have a look for this extract. What's the difference this extract with the previous one? Okay, previous the extract only got objective, the result and conclusion. So no problem statement and approve. So for this one, we look from here. So the cryogenic treatment has been acknowledged as a means of extending the life tungsten carbide insert, but no study have been reported in one open literature regarding the effect of the coolant. So they want to share the difference. This is motivation. They mentioned that no study have been reported for the effect of coolant on the performance for this type of the tungsten carbide treatment insert in the turning. Okay, so this is the motivation. So in order to understand the effect of the coolant, a comparative investigation on the wear behavior, okay, for this treatment, tungsten carbide inserts in dry and wet tungsten has been carried out in this study. So they put in the knowledge, the gap and objective. This is objective actually, okay, because not much people do it. So there's this paper, this research study that the researcher do this research work. So they put in the result here, the approved here. Here's approved. So what is approved they are using here? So they have a look here. So what kind of, how much temperature they are using, and they follow what kind of the standard, okay, ISO. So this is approved. So right in detail, but it's quite concise. So quite the summary is the approved here. So it's very detailed. And the last one, they show the result. So the result, they show that this type of treatment tungsten performs significantly better. Okay, significantly better in wet turning condition under both continuous and interrupt machining mode, especially in the high cutting speed. So a considered increase in tool life now was also recorded in the interrupt machine mode to compare with continuous machine mode. So they give some the result and conclusion. So this abstract is much better, is it? So you can have a look. They also have the motivation, the gap and objective. The gap and objective they have included here. Okay, that's why most of the time the interaction they involve the motivation. We put in the motivation. So because abstract is very important, you want to attract people to read your paper. Whether they want to consider your paper or go through review also, then they will look from the abstract first. Okay. So now we go for the third activity. So I give you about 25 minutes, including the break time. You'll try to write your own abstract. Okay, you need to write your abstract based on this method. Okay, you can put in, maybe you can put in what is your interaction first, method, result, and discussion conclusion. But you need to count the word, how many words of your abstract. So not too much, okay, maybe about less than 300, because now we are practicing. So try to write less than 300 abstract based on your study. Okay, you can try to write now. Okay, I give you about 25 minutes, so you do it, and that on we can try to discuss it. Okay, you want to take a toilet break also can, then that on we join back. Okay, I give you the link, then you can do it. Okay, so you try whether you can access or not the black wall, then you try to write it, your abstract. Take your time, because this one it takes some time to write it. Okay, we may not to request the best one, but at least we try. Okay, so you try first that on about 11:35. Now we discuss it. Okay, so you try first. Then if you have any question, you please free to ask me also. We can discuss it. So at the same time, you also can take a break, lah. Okay. If you have any question, you can text here. Okay, text in the chat box, then later on we can discuss it. Okay, so I think most of you already join back now. So I saw have Dr. Azrin and Sumiko has shared the your abstract. Okay, quite good. So later we have a look. So I think after I sharing some of the method for the publication, then we will have some discussion. Okay, I can share with you some website for JCR and also some of the best listed journal. Okay, we can discuss it. Okay. So we have a look here, the abstract. Okay, very good abstract from Dr. Azrin and Sumiko. So quite detailed. Okay, even have word count and also keyword. Most of the time, if we have paper published before, then actually it's easier. Okay, because we know how to do it. Okay. So well, I share first. So can you see now the screen? Right, activity 3. Can see, right? I think now I share screen through here, so it should be fine. Okay, good. So this from this is from Dr. Azrin, is it? Here. And then this one from Sumiko. So Dr. Azrin, you see, is very good abstract and very detailed also. Both of you also quite good. Word count less than 200. Okay, so about Sumiko about 150, and you even have the keywords here. Yeah, so only 2 of you, but I think it's okay. Only 2 of you, I think only respond. Okay, so first Dr. Azrin is the I think tourism, Balai Pulau for the Penang Island. This is the introduction. So quieter and cleaner compared to the Georgetown. There is famous known among the local for publishing high quality durians. It's very interesting. So the is a prospective hotspot for the tourism entrepreneurs. So this paper tries to explore tourism activity in Balai Pulau to better understand the motivation and challenges faced by the entrepreneurs in the area. So here you have the objective, introduction objective. Then here you have the your method. Okay, so you drew to some of the interview. So they have some of the motivation for high depend on the goals. So they have some of your the finding here. So you have indicate the 5 challenges. This is challenge your finding. Okay, when you through the interview. So there's few of it. Personal inadequate support from the government and private sector, difficult for employing staff, insufficient infrastructure, seasonal income, and encouraging urbanization. So you also give some suggestion. Okay, so success the Balai Pulau to be marked as a Penang and Northern Malaysia. Okay, so it's very good. So this journal actually has some of the impact to the society. So the potential of unique landscape from overall development is total from the sustainable for the agritourism in the area. So it's very good. About 200 only, but it's quite detailed. Everything happy, and even you put the summary for your interview or your research paper, research work. Okay, so here. So actually, your view is quite different with me. Because mine is more on science. Okay, so experimental. So I think your view is actually quite interesting. Even for people, they read too and they can understand. But for our paper, it's too specific. Social science, yeah, that's why it's quite good, quite interesting also. For us, we are seldom using the surveys. We seldom using surveys, and maybe we have it, we can survey a little bit, but we more on experimental or we can doing simulation. So for science, sometimes people can say it's quite boring also, a bit boring, but it depends because some of the field, you can get publication very fast. Not only fast, they can get citation a lot, high citation. currently we involve one is renewable energy or energy. The paper, some of the paper they can get published very fast, easier. So sometimes people can say, your field is very easy to get published. You only change a little bit field, or you change your material, then you can publish to another journal already. Then people also argue your field may be even easier. So, but for us now, we also try learning. Yeah, I understand, Dr. Azrin. So it's different. Your paper for us now, we read too when we can understand. So it's quite good. Then Sumiko also here, online travel agency, OTAs. So at least you have the keyword, you have the short form. So play a key role in the hospitality and tourism industry. So many product, and it's well known before the outbreak of the pandemic. Okay, online travel agency products and service often bring numerous convenience to the people. Then this is very good. This is the now current trend. So at least it's quite people will get interest to this type of the topic. So for the topic of the research is mainly about Malaysian repurchase the intention of the tourism product and service to the online travel agency. Okay, then the mainly to online travel agency better certified, reduce shortcoming and provide the final service of the Malaysian. So you're also doing the quantitative method. Okay, survey. So I think you need at least about, is it got minimum? Dr. Azrin or Sumiko, normally for teaching, normally for question survey, you all need at least 100 or how many of it for you all to get enough the result for question A. Yeah, population size. Yes. So actually not easy, right? Because sometimes we send the survey to people, but sometimes they don't respond. Or they just simply do it by the result. Now the survey result is not affect our, it maybe they will give a negative result. Yeah, based on the population or calculation. Sometimes people will say social science easier. They say social science using doing teaching survey they can get published, but it's different. Actually, I know sometimes social science your paper even very difficult to get published. They review the paper quantity also, and also their process. The people want to test your result, and they go through it. Not so easy. For us, maybe we go through. We have published a paper. We have some finding. Maybe for example, my biofuel we burn, then we see the emission performance or combustion, then people can read it. There is a difference. So there's different method, but it's good. Okay, maybe in future we can do some collaboration also together. So you can try more. Yeah, very few Scopus industry conference also. But now I think even have more, but at least we need to try. Sorry. Yeah. So here, because here they have question here. They mention about over the age of 18. So distribute to the social media platform. So also provided here, then the findings show that there is a significant relation between the brand image, perceived value, and trust in the repurchase. Okay, so quite good also. Yeah, okay, thank you for sharing. Yeah, I think maybe we, Dr. Azrin, Sumiko, maybe we have time, we can try to discuss. Maybe you can try to find somewhere that I can join in. Okay, because our engineering, sometimes we also say boring a bit, mechanical engineering, then we do experiment or simulation. I think it should be fine. At least we may have some collaboration in terms of we can publish a paper from what maybe I can focus for which some of the part, maybe intro or other of it. Then we can try to have a look. Oh, okay, Dr. Khoo. Yeah, Dr. Khoo. Dr. Khoo now I think he involved a lot of the research also. Then now I think IT also they go for Batu Kawan, the lecturer. So sometimes we seldom meet them. Yeah. Okay. So Dr. Azrin and Sumiko, maybe we find one day we try to discuss it. Then we try to aim for high tier journal first. Okay, because we are multi-discipline, maybe we can get better one. Yeah, multi-discipline. So even we can go for a few, actually most of the time I just share a bit. Sometimes our paper always, last time we also get rejected, and because we studying in UM, the lecturer only want tier 1 because we commit to high impact journal. So sometimes it's very down. We don't know what to do. So we're looking for our friends or some of the research friends, they do it for other journal, They go for other journal. Then the journal we never try. Then we go to the journal, we go found from the list of the paper. Oh, on our field, not much people go in first. So that's why they publish. Then we also try to join in also. Then we may have some different work that try to join in. But one time, if too many people join in already, the journal, too many people submit. Then they said the scope is a lot. Paper published in the same field, then the journal, they try not to accept anymore. Or maybe they accept, but they're only looking for higher or novel work. So that's why we need to try others also. So actually, we're looking for we are not say competitor, because they are our friends also. Now they're doing postdoc or doing lecturing in Australia and Taiwan. So we're also looking for their publication. So it's a way for us to learn from them. Okay, sometimes we do collaboration with them, but sometimes we also look how they get published paper. So it's a way for us sharing. Collaboration is very important. Okay. So I go too fast a bit, but later on we can go to some of the JCR and others. Because I know JCR actually we can't access unless some public they have it. The JCR report. Okay. So introduction, I go through because I think because we are lecturer or maybe we have experience, so we still know how to do it. Okay, but maybe for some postgraduate students, they need to go through the process. It's a learning process. Okay, so introduction, normally the people want to know what you are doing here. You want to know what is your objective. Motivation is very important. Okay, so the reader or the reviewer always need to looking for objective motivation and what is the justification for the research. That's why just now I shared that I will emphasize what is our novelty a bit compared to others for some of our paper. Why? Because to be honest to say, because we have our paper will be rejected few times also. To be honest to say, we go through it. It's very tough on the starting, so we improve it. They say your paper non-novelty and your paper similar with another paper. Then we go through it and we find more paper to support. Actually, our paper has something different. So only we can get published in the journal. But when you publish in the journal, 1 or 2 times, the way you publish, because you may a big famous in that field at the journal, then the second or third step may be a bit easier. Or they will ask you to be a reviewer also. But it means normally for you have high impact index also. So they are looking for. So then it will get easier a bit. But some journal not. Even we are reviewer of the journal, we submit the paper to the paper. The editor say your paper is too much in the paper in the journal. So they not accept. Even go to editor, not go through reviewer yet, and they already reject. But even we are the reviewer, but it's okay lah. We try other journal also. So leader 2, they were looking for interaction. I expect to find context, background, and what you're doing in the field, and things like that. And also what you really need to know what's the new things in the paper lah. That's why if not everything you are the same, then no novelty, then what the people want to looking for. Okay, introduction is well written and read through the rest of the paper. So also we try to cite the paper with the current years, not too old. If old is still okay, but you must have majority, maybe 70% a book or some certain of the numbering. The paper, the reference is the latest less of the last 5 years. If not, sometimes they also question. Okay, so the problem, you need to know what is the study intersection and what's important and relevant. So the leader will be familiar to the topic and have a short about 1 or 2 pages, not too long. So you are looking from first now, your general aspect, the aspect, then you go for the nano now, for the sentence. Okay. So writing the introduction now, there's a. So normally, what do the viewer expect from the introduction? So normally, the problem good, then whether is good or not, whether problem is solving. Your problem you propose solving method is it good enough? Got have good informative to people or not? Then have some solution new, clear, and effective compared to others. And whether the solution is the best one of the problem or that this paper help the reader of the journal. So they are looking for here. Always they will mention here, even we are doing review, they will review the journal, they will asking whether your paper will have any novelty or not. So they are looking for that. Even sometimes we're doing for experiment work, they're also asking that actually why you didn't doing for another experimental work. But actually because here now we may have limited equipment. Also sometimes the question, we also need to try to find whether the experimental work need to do or not. Because first now the budget we send for testing also quite costly. And equipment we don't have it, you want to rent it to the nearest university, also is a problem. So that's why we try to do collaboration with other public U, because they have a lot of equipment. Okay, so writing the contents now, for first now we need to know the background of the problem. So you may have a general statement that lead to the problem. So always now we have asked the student also, you need to have reviewed the past work. You need to highlight the limitation as for the existing work. Yes, a lot of people doing biofuel study, but they didn't do it from risk research field, or even they run for engine performance, for example. They don't run in our specific, we modify our engine, we run for the better emission, better power performance. I try to talk in a little bit not so scientific word, difficult to understand. So we try to make sure to tell them that we have difference. So we highlight. So statement of problem, you explain the problem being addressed. That's why our paper, our research is very important for the study. People can go through our paper, they can get some knowledge. So that's always we are concerned. We are emphasize and objective. The last one is objective. You need to be clear. Okay. So the background, just now we mentioned, start the center with the general first. We go through overall, then we only nano round. Okay, then go through the research topic and how your research is related to the published journal article. That's why the scope of the journal is very important. We sometimes we try to send to other journal because we are from mechanical engineering. Sometimes we send to chemical engineering paper. Not more. Sometimes they accept because not some they didn't accept because for them there are some of the journal they are very specific in the chemical engineering. Our is biofuel, a little bit only for biodiesel production. So some did not accept, but we try it because we found the paper they have some related paper, some is related to our work, our research, then we try it. So sometimes we try lah, then you get feedback, then you get accepted, then you will be better. Because we need to try few journal also because some journal it take too long times. Long times my student, another postgraduate student, she shared that actually they found the review, they go through the paper. They said the paper normally take 3 months to get published. But for her now, unfortunately, she take about 9 months. Even all the same times now, she also emailed to the reviewer, editor, email to editor, what is the progress of the journal, why it takes so long? No feedback also. But at the end, get feedback soon, and now, not soon, I mean, take 9 months, but it's a major. So we also try to ask her to try to, because they give only 1 week to do the paper correction. But it's very tough. It says the result not enough, methodology not enough. So we try to improve it, then see how. If not, that time we'll send to another paper because she need it for graduation also, for master student. So we try to help. But my another student also he get quite more lah, master. Okay, so for the review paper, that's why we always tell the student that review paper is very important. So we focus for the previous research and we want to fill in the gap. That's very important. We need to go the gap. Even for the thesis also, problem statement, the gap. And necessity and rationale of your study and set boundary of your study. So you know what's your boundary, what is your scope. You don't over the scope also. Then at least you have some control. Definitely the master and PhD student, you have difference that the scope and the boundary here is different, but at least you have the main main criteria objective you still have it. But normally PhD we are looking more on the novelty. Some of the part the work they still can be sent with the master work, but we are looking for novelty or they need to have some contribution, research contribution. Okay. So review now. But actually review paper not so easy. That time I share with you one of my student review paper. He get 100+ reference he did. So for us for me if I want to write the review paper, it really spend time. Spend time. Some people they can be very good in writing review paper. But it's okay because when he get review that time he master thesis the review the chapter 2 is already done already, almost done for him already. So he gets faster from the work. Okay, so the review, then you need to know the authors. You can you go through the paper, you can know few author is very famous in the field, and you can go through their paper. Then need to be critical also, then explain the limitation of existing knowledge. You need to be focused for the relevant paper only. Then some review will have target journal and minimize self-citation. Yes. We actually for us we also cite our paper, but we maybe cite only 1 or 2, not much but some people, but some journal or some reviewer they will ask you to cite the journal, but not sure the journal is his journal or his friend journal or is related. If related, we think positive. If related, then it's okay. Sometimes they will ask you to cite. Okay, or we want to submit the journal, we try to cite any 2 or 3 the specific journal. Okay, and also I think the student a lot for FYP student or most of them for FYP student, they like to cite the reference from conference, okay, website and others unpublished article. So that actually the result means the paper quality may not as good compared to journal. Okay, then that's why we try to ask them to try for journal compared to conference paper or website. But they always give feedback is being they cannot find the full paper. The paper need to pay. But the time we try to share with them how to get it, and then they try to get it. But somewhere I think it's because they don't want to read. Okay, it's too much, too long. And for them, they say it's difficult to understand. For FYP, so okay, we still can torrent a bit. Okay, but we say if you score A, then you must do better work. But for postgraduate student, you cannot have this type of skill. You need to go through majority is the conference paper. Is the journal paper. Okay, statement, problem statement, we need to have it an objective. So you need to describe the research problem clearly and explain the objective of your work and expected contribution for the study and focus on the main objective. But actually for me, I found that some of the students that maybe mostly is FYP or new postgraduate student, they put the objective is not measurable. They are something like they are not measurable. It means you cannot check whether your objective can be achieved or not. That is normally not this kind of objective you can put in your thesis or your paper. It should be something that it can be measurable. Then you only can say it's objective. If not, how we prove you have achieved the objective? Okay, so common mistake for the introduction. Previous time they may say for the previous work is not reviewed in sufficient detail. Literature review is outdated, not reviewed. Okay, too many conference paper or website cited. No much knowledge you can be expected. So this some of it, and no objective or problem stated clearly. So we try to avoid it. So first now we go through the general first, what is the problem, okay, and what people do it. So normally we do it here, and that one we try to write more one sentence, okay, or one paragraph, what people not yet done, and then what's our paper. So we try to make it clear lah, so people can understand, differentiate our paper with other people paper. Okay, then you need to provide sufficient detail, not repeat, and establish the existing method, and ensure the methodology lead towards the answering the objective. So some of it is the experiment method not provided, or the experiment work is not convincing. Some of the photograph not clear, image very poor, flow chart from size diagram and other technical issue also. Okay, so this few of it. So result discussion. Result discussion is, I think, is among the normally we are doing for last part for it. So we will present it normally for us now we also compare. You need to put in the better table and graph, and also the error and uncertainty for some of our research study. Now they are looking for it. They want to handle whether have you do some error or uncertainty or not, whether your result is repeatability or not. So they are questioning now for the result. Okay, so you need to discuss through the paper and graph. Graph is better for discussion. Then we try to check our result. Is it supported by other journal or not? Okay, and also if not, then we also check whether what is the limitation of the finding. So we need to cite and compare. Okay, the result, some of the result is not too depth, very brief, so no much finding, then does not agree with the data. Conclusion draw based on the insufficient data. For example, for you maybe have some of the survey, right? Then you may have some sufficient data also. And sometimes the data may be a bit weird, so we may need to run or do some teaching, to do some survey also, or question survey. So that's why it also take times. And some of it, they don't have comparison in map with previous published work, and also accuracy data, and also they have some of the your research objective, whether have you achieve it or not, or have you addressed it or not, the research objective. Okay, so writing conclusion, you should match with the problem, objective, not repeat the methodology. You can have a brief summary, is okay, but not repeating. So just now we're looking for the abstract, right? It's in like copy page from the methodology or the result. Okay, also not copy page from the abstract. Not mean the your abstract, the conclusion you also copy from it, not repeating. Okay, so make sure it's contribution to the relation to the previous work. Set the limitation also. And what is your finding? What is your significant finding? That's very important. Okay, so these are some of the good conclusion. You can have a look here. So this example part of it. For some of the good conclusion. Conclusion also not too long, because some of the paper conclusion they are very long. Like some they put the point form 1, 2, 3 and other of it. But as long as it's accept, can be understandable, then it's fine. Okay. Now citing and listing reference. Now we're looking for reference here. So I think Shumiko, I'm not sure just now you asking me is a reference. You mean what kind of reference we are using or what? Or you're looking for the reference for the journal, different journal or the art. Okay. So I think most of y'all may using Mendeley, right? Free. But previously we using EndNote. EndNote is quite good, but I think it's pay one because last time we used from our university. So it still can be used. So that's why we use the EndNote. Okay, I think Sumiko is typing something. But you all always need to be careful. Even you export the file, then the author names or some of it they still got typo error. They still got typo, they got error. So you need to edit it. If not, actually sometimes it cannot be used. Yeah, my student also use it. But we both also okay. Both also okay, quite good. Okay, but during the Viva, the examiner said you got something wrong in your reference. Okay, then he said, because I export from the Mandarin, then but he said it still got error, then we need to correct it. We can edit it. If not, actually, they sometimes their author names also wrong, wording or issue also wrong. We need to correct it. If not, that one when we writing thesis or paper, then we only want to correct it, then it takes time. Okay. Sumiko, I think Mandarin quite common use. They still have others one. But I think EndNote also can be used. You can try if you want. I can try to share with you also. But for me, I think it's more important we use the reference we familiar with it. If not, then actually sometimes we spend a lot of time. Then the format run, then you need to do formatting again. Then you convert to pen word file, then the format run, then you need to do it. So sometimes I also tell the student you stick for one, then you do it, you improve it, you add on. If not, the half a person they don't normally they don't want to listen unless a good student. They say they do manual reference, then that is a problem, big problem. Now we not accept. I telling you doing for proper way, because that one if you are good you can further your study, master or PhD. But we need to keep the file also, because sometimes we insert the file into the EndNote, then the file size is very big. Or sometimes the name is too long because we already export from the paper. It's too long, so we try to make it shorter. If not, later on you export it, you send to other file, or you copy to other drive. It will get error because the file name is too long. Okay, so revise, editing, and proofread. Okay, proofread here, you need to read through here, then later on you print and you can have a look. Or you may ask your supervisor or call others to have a look. Okay, I think just now Sumiko also asking me, if we can send to English school, the language school for proofread, I think it can. But Dr. Ajin, do you have any sharing how to do the proofreading? Is it free or not for us academic staff? For me, last time we proofread before because during my PhD study, then our lecturer have a lot of grant. Okay, Sumiko, you don't be surprised. Our proofread can go for 1,000 because the paper they count. We go for UK proofreading last time. But now we also don't have money already. Even we have research funding, the funding is not going for proofreading. So that's why we not go through it already long time. That time because our lecturer got big grant, then we can try for the proofread. Yeah, proofreading one actually free one. I also need to looking for. I try to ask. Okay, if have that I share with you also and your. My son already we also get the your English is not good. Then the editor say you need to try to improve your English. So we try to ask him to correct again. I think they're using software. The English software, I think the Mandarin also can, right? Or some of it they can correct your grammar, but it still got mistake. Then you try to send to another call after, or then we try to have a look. But sometimes we correct it. Okay, we revise because we found that this grammar mistake is very it's the grammar mistake. Okay, but other one we try improve it. We send because our paper already published, right, and already revise it. Then they still can accept. Then the editor a bit at the end of the editor they did for they said they can correct a bit our grammar, but not major grammar English grammar mistake. Then they accept. Okay, so it's always we try it. But this is also not only I think Sumiko and your, for me also a lot of lecturer also
are asking about the proofreading. Not cheap, quite expensive. They count by word. So last time I think we sometimes because they say our paper, because we want to get published for the high tier journal, and they say your which part is not good, the grammar not okay. But we have introduction, methodology part, right? We think that the partner, the grammar should be okay because we cite from paper. And then sometimes we remove it. We only send our result and discussion for the proofread. Then we try to reduce the price, also the cost for proofreading. It's also where for us, like in case we really need it and it's very urgent, then we can try it. Because if you want to go through full reading about 30 pages plus the paper, it takes long time. Yeah, it's very good. Business for reading. It's very important. Now I think a lot are also looking for it. Shumiko, I think you can check. They got the price also. I think you said the UK proofreading one. I think we also sent it before, but I think there are a lot. Maybe not the same. But it's in terms of the UK currency. You can have a look. They can count how many words they have it. But we need to pay full We need to pay full. Then only they will do proofreading. But sometimes for us now, we are the science on paper. We send to them proofread. Sometimes they proofread not also we can 100% to accept. Because sometimes they proofread the sentence, the meanings is different from our research work already. That's different. Maybe for them, yeah, it's grammar. But for us, the meaning is different. So we still need to go through it. But I believe they also have some software to do the proofreading. If not, how sometimes they can prove it very fast in few days. But if you're urgent one, you will need to pay more. Then it is quite costly. But last time we proofread for few paper. But after that we combine for PhD thesis. Then because the paper have proofread before, and then it should be fine already that time. But if the thesis is also very costly, maybe some part of the result. If not, then too expensive. Okay. So then submitting the paper, we need to check the corresponding author and others of it, figure, PDF file, and others. And we write a letter also for reminder the editor if they're not here about 4 months. I think not 4 months is too long. Maybe few months you think it's too long, they no feedback. Or we check the system. They're still under editor. Maybe for 1 month, I think we need to send a reminder editor. Okay, so I didn't go too fast a bit. So that's all we can go through for some of it. So normally for journal, what the viewer looking for? Yeah, always they're asking for novelty. Okay, where the methodology and what is the result objective and whether your methodology is convincing or not. And the evidence, so the result is evident, we achieve the objective, and it can be the product CBRO also very important. Sometimes they ask us to do error analysis and but sometimes they even ask us to do other testing. But the equipment we don't have it's too costly. Then there's this one also we worry a bit. But sometimes we try to tell them that we may consider in future, and we try to cite other paper for the development work on it also. But if really your paper the result is not enough, normally they won't accept. A little bit parameter, then it may be considered. Okay, so you need to read through the reviewer, revise your paper, read through the comment of the reviewer, and try to understand. We will try to respond them one by one question. We're using color text also in our document and make the changes. Then we agree or not, even we not agree, we try to write in polite word to answer them. Okay, you want, I think I can share. Okay, I can share one of my student. He's just graduated. Jason, he just graduated. I think he's the first student now for KDUPG, master student graduated by research study. Yesterday we have the assessor audit for the postgraduate study. Yesterday, 3 of us, they go for online interview, then I go for physical interview for our postgraduate study for mechanical engineering. Okay, the accuracy. So now I share his one of it. Not so good, not mean it's the best lah, but it's just the sharing. But he quite hardworking also. So can share. Here you all can see or not, this is the word file. This is the comment from my student. But I believe Dr. Asrin and Sumiko, even you all have more, much better. For me, is we just for our field, then it should be fine lah. Okay. This one. So this is the editor comment, but a lot now you do 21 pages because it can be said it's a major correction because it's a review paper. So we answer one by one. We answer one by one and we list which one we need to do correspond and which line, because our paper original is in this one. Okay. This is a clean version. This one he sent to MDPI because it's the first paper. Then we try to let him do publish faster. And last time they got some corrector, they got funding, a little bit funding from their university. So we can do it. But now no more already. So we still get back to the non-page journal. But normally Elsevier journal will be much better lah. But even they take longer time. But after he had one paper, he will feel very happy already. Then he did very fast. This is his review paper. This is a clean version. So he give one highlight. We ask him to do highlight because if you don't highlight, how the reviewer can read through one by one? How they want to compare your original and before and after? So we try to make it easy to understand. Okay, this is clean version. Then he have about, see got how many pages? 44 pages for review paper. I think he spent about 4 months plus lah. So he have about 127 references. Actually, it's quite a lot. Okay, 127. So this one they're using EndNote. So you see the link is there, have it. 127. So this is a clean version. Then he have the highlight version. So we always submit 3 files. We then have another one is the letter lah, edit the letter. But main is a 3 file for correction. Okay, you can have a look here. So this one, what he did. Okay, then maybe for editor one, he asking him to do introduction more. He need to cite more. He said he didn't do citation more. He need to find for letters publication and then typology. So then he did it. Then which part he edit the figure, because some figure for first not clear. The editor reviewer comment not clear. And no citation or other of it. So he tried to make it, then he highlight. Then he answer in the, this is clean one. They give them clean version. Then he answer in the detail here. Okay, which paragraph he had done, how he answer. Because some of it they comment, we also think that it's not logic. We try to answer them some. Okay, we try to improve it because different reviewer, they may give you different comments. So at the end, you want to combine it. Actually, sometimes very tough. So we will stick to one reviewer. Then he did. Then the second reviewer, we was mentioned that which part we had done. Because when you submit here, they can read through all the reviewer comment. Okay, so that is part of it. Okay, I think time not much already. If we want, next time we can try to discuss it. Okay, so after revise the paper, then the outer issue also is main concern. Some lecturer or some supervisor, they may concern that they want their paper is the first author, their name are. For us, I think because it's their work, the student work, postgraduate student work, master or PhD, we always put their name is the first lah. But for corresponding author, normally we will be the main supervisor will be the corresponding author. Because the student normally after master or sometime they didn't continue the research. So corresponding author for some university, they might be the lecturer, main supervisor. If not, the paper won't count for their KPI. That is very critical issue also. So, but for me, we have tried to put, maybe we put 2 corresponding author. It should be fine too, not too much, because it's fair, because the supervisor need it, and then another student, he also can put corresponding author. 2, I saw it, and we also did it, and get published quite a lot of paper also. We have 2 corresponding author. Okay, then plagiarism, yeah, this is a way we need to try to avoid it. So we're using Turnitin. For, I think you also may know that our plagiarism not too much. I think for us science is not more than 20%. Okay, but for the review paper, they may have 25% for the Turnitin similarity. Actually, we don't need to submit our Turnitin report to them because they have their own system to check the Turnitin, the similarity. Okay, the plagiarism, the percentage. But we need to be careful because sometimes we have the same paper, we have the same research work. The methodology may be the same. Then we copy our methodology into another paper because this is our paper. Then we put in. But at the end, the self-citation for the one paper is more than 20%. Even the overall paper, the Turnitin is less. Then they also can say either reject your paper or they ask you to revise. Only you can go through the review process because self-citation of one paper. So that's why we need to refresh our methodology. So there is some of the journal, they have some concern about it. Okay, so then other ones, language when we try to avoid the jargon word and others. Okay, so this view of it. I think we had sometimes I try to share with your JCR report. Maybe Shumiko, have you looked before or not the JCR? Whether you can access or not, or when maybe we can try together with Dr. Azrin also. Here is a JCR or not outside. I check. Because this one actually is quite good, but last time we cannot access it because we didn't subscribe the JCR. Okay, now I try share with you. This is a JCR. Here you see I get from here JCR journal citation report. And then I type example. I type here. You can have a look. Yeah. View. Then we go for view. Now wait a moment. I need to really join in. Okay, because just now. Wait a moment. Because this account we gave from our collaborator, and last time we studied in UM, so we have the account to access to their journal. So normally publish you, they have it. But normally how you all check the CCR, the journal, the tier sometimes they have it, but maybe sometimes the audit they want detail, Setara and other they want in detail. So they want the JCR report. You see, now I type few, just now the few. They have few of it. Then maybe Kumiko, you can give me, you want, we can check together what kind of journal. Dr. Azrin, I'm not using URW the account, but we can try to ask the librarian also. I think Dr. Gomez also asked yesterday, the auditor also asked us how we access the journal. Because our student, he used the USM, because we do collaborate with the student, US lecturer, so they can access in. But I think we can try to ask also later on. I also try to ask because it's very important. The JCL, the report, we need it. We want to see how the paper from previous year and what is the ranking in detail. That's very important. This one I'm using USM account. USM account. So this is a few. Then we're looking for here. Their from year, how many year to year their impact factor. Okay, total citation. So we normally looking for here general impact factor. Okay, open access ranking. Okay. Okay, you're looking from here. If normally for one journal, they not only one category, they may have more than one category. So for example, this field, they got energy and fuel. And also there can another category, engineering and chemical. So they have two categories. But this field, because it's high impact journal, so they are all is tier 1, Q1 and Q1. Okay. But if you find other journal, if energy and fuel, for example, Q1, and then engineering and chemical Q2, then we still category as a tier 1 paper, Q1 paper. If any one of it is Q1, then we will state it as a Q1 tier 1 journal. Okay, so if they are multidiscipline, is have more, but sometimes two multidiscipline, they're not specific. Even tier 1, they also have tier 1. What is the tier between it? How high the tier also? You see, tier, this one tier is quite higher, a bit 19 per 142. Even less than 25% of it. So looking for the tier. Okay, then you can export the file in PDF. So this one we're using the USM. We have USM and UM. We have Corbetter also. Then we ask from them. Last time I think Dr. Gomez also asked because we need to send for Satara also the JCL report. Okay, you look from here. Here this one very detailed, but normally we give first page only. This one even year 2021. From year 1997 until here. This paper is always Q1. Okay, but other paper not. I have paper PhD is Q2. Q1, but that one he dropped to Q2 already. The paper dropped to Q2. When we get accepted, then never mind, we just count it as Q2. But it's still okay. The paper is good paper. Sumiko is okay. Maybe you want that one. If any journal you want, we can try to. If you really need it, I can share with y'all. You give me the journal name, then I can try to give y'all. But we try to ask the UOLAB also. I try to ask the Dr. Gomes or the librarian also whether the UOLAB Australia they have subscribed it or not. I think it should be happy. That is very important. This one always we not able to have it because not all the university have. Some probably you also don't have. Okay, we try another one more. Because I think we have a little bit time. So Dr. Azrin, I think also cannot access, right? Unless maybe you all can get from some friends, they also share with us. But this one, we need to get their password. So sometimes they don't willing to share because this password is their work password also. Okay, try one more. Okay, then maybe try this one. I try to your because this paper, this journal they got Q1 and Q2. This one energy. This one last time we also published. Like energy is impact factor less than the fuel just now. So a bit easier lah. But now I don't know. We submit also get rejected also. Okay, they got Q1, Q2. Few of it now here you can see. Energy and fuel PBSD is Q1, but last time they got Q2 and Q3 also. Now the ranking is higher. Okay, but they have a lot of fuel. This one they got 4 category. I think more than that, few category lah here. So few category. But this one I think is a new format website. Last time they have it been easier to read through it. Oh, okay. Oh, Web of Science different version. Okay. Then maybe that time we try to check. Sumiko, we try to check. Because last time Web of Science I seldom use. I use the SciDirect like that. Web of Science because now for this I want to do comparison. Then I use Web of Science. But I found that the version is different a bit. There's also, but maybe it's new. The latter one is new or but last time is different. This one also JCL reference already. The format. Okay. Tourism also a lot. Then I'm not sure which tourism your time. Maybe you want to go for. I try and check. Or you have any paper? I can try. But a lot. Which one? You mean tourism review? Or which one? Tourism management, Dr. Azrin. Which one is higher one? Maybe you can suggest because I'm not so familiar. Maybe which one is a higher one? Maybe we can try have a look. Web of Science. Okay. This one not sure is. This one very high impact factor 12. I think this is the one. Q1 ranking. Right, Dr. Azrin, maybe you're familiar with this paper also. All right, your hospitality and environment. So this is the one. So previously don't have. But the JCL report, yours is year 2020. We need to refer to 2021 JCL report. Normally during June, they will have new report. So we need to refer by yearly by right. Yeah, top journal also. So this one you want, we can export. If Dr. Azrin you need, you can tell me, then I can send to you if you want, or Sumiko. Okay, so I share the last one. I think now time also not enough already. The time we still have class, right? Okay. Now I share the last one. This is the bad listed journal. This one for MOE. But this one I found for internet is the year 2015. Okay, so this is a few of the bad listed journal. So we need to check, especially African journal. A lot of bad listed journal. Even MDPI also have this one I can put in the chat box. You can have a look. Then I found another website. We also can get it. Okay, you wait a moment. That's what I share. Which one? Let me check. So these few of it. So, but I think most of us maybe just to try to avoid. Normally for pair journal we need to be careful. This one, this journal, this website, okay. Bear list journal, this one for the predatory journal. Okay, so you can type here. You can type now the bear list journal. So you can get in the journal. You can get which journal is in the bad list one. But this one normally in Malaysia MOE we also have a list Okay, we can find the latest one. But African journal a lot the bad listed journal. So we can get from here. So try to avoid. But if you send to SciDirect or others one, the well-known one, normally their paper it should be fine one. Unless open access, then we need to be careful because we pay, and we pay, then our paper is blacklisted, then everything gone already. Yeah. Okay, thank you, Sumiko. Okay, so y'all have any question or not for the? Still have any question? So I think for me, it's for sharing lah. I'm still in the learning process also. For now, also we need to find time to do publication and research. I think Dr. Azrin also have grant, right? I have our GS. My grant just finished only, just finished. But I didn't use all. I have the money demanding for the traveling, overseas traveling, because last time MCO, then our money cannot spend, so need to return back to KPT. But other budget we spend almost finished. Access I think I have about 12,000. I have about 12,000 because my grant is about 107, about 101, 101. Okay, so I think I left about 12,000 something, 12,000 plus. They also have conference fee, but I cannot use it because it's already due already. Because last time they say my student already graduate, then no need to extend. Then I didn't ask for extension. But actually our HelpRGS get extension now because pandemic, the KPT give up extension few times, 3 months, then 6 months, and other quite few times extend already. So my HelpRGS is more than 2 years. So I think may not to extend lah because too long already. Okay. So have any question for today? So I feel very happy also with your two of y'all. So at least we have some feedback. Okay. Okay, Shumiko, later we can try to check again for more of the detail also. Okay, so thank you, Sumiko. Thank you, Dr. Azrin. Okay, next time we try to have a meeting together for some collaboration. Okay, wait, Dr. Azrin, can you share how to get the link to GoodYear conference? Oh, good conference. Normally conference now but Dr. Azrin, I think you try to find a journal is can convert to journal. It conference paper convert to journal, Scopus Index. Actually, I'm different field. I'm not there to tell you all which one because we also looking for it. But normally for us, we want is a Scopus conference the paper, and it can be the paper conference paper can even be converted that on to journal. So we get 2 of it. Oh, social science. Okay. I try to find if have it. But I'm not sure. Normally, you know the link or not? Do you know the link for conference? Conference. This is a world conference lah. Conference. This one 200. They have one website here. It will list now all the conference in the world, not only Malaysia. But then you can go into it. But I think you can go for traveling, right? Or you can. I think now some conference even they accept online presentation. So this is one of it. I'm not sure whether have you used it before. So it will list all the conference, but I think I still have another one. Whole country. I think it's the which conference? World conference. I think yeah, can try. Yeah. Actually, conference I also worry about because some of them the conference fee not cheap, and then we also worry the quality of the conference. So that's why we have not much. I think we only have one USM conference, and another one is currently will be go in UITM. We found the conference is normally from our same field, our collaborator also, or we know the research people in Malaysia one. We find it but our overseas also have it, but we really need to be careful. For us, when we have IEEE, then this is a recognized conference, and then I know. But social science, I'm not so sure. Oh, okay. Sumiko said another one. So we can have a look here. Is it this one? Here got listing here, right? Then we can have a look here. So I think Dr. Azlin also can check. Yeah, social science here. Then we can check. Like maybe your one is here. Then you check. I think Dr. Azlin quite good. Yeah, this one. You can check. You even go to Australia, then you see when is it. Like in some this one seems like no. Oh, here. Then you click into, then you're looking for detail. Okay. Okay, thank you, Sumiko, also. Because last time no much funding already, so I think 2 years we didn't go for conference. We go for it online. But last time we enjoy a lot for the traveling also, right? But now less. You also can go for some of the conference if better the conference is from the journal itself, but that one is quite costly. Then you get something in the paper got higher chance also get published in the journal. Last time we have it, we go to Taiwan, but the conference quite costly also, but it's quite good that time because we have funding, research funding, then we go during our PhD study. Then they also have a conference. Then can have a look. Okay, now Sumiko sharing one, yeah. Okay. So Dr. Azlin and Sumiko, you all still have anything we want to discuss? Okay. Actually, thanks a lot for y'all, also two of y'all. Okay, I also get a lot of things, learn a lot of things from your feedback. Okay. Okay, so thanks for joining. Okay, thank you. Bye bye. Okay, bye bye. Thank you. Bye bye.